In front of the entire basketball world, the Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA's self-described unstoppable dynasty, were just humiliated. A thrashing check of 27 points. A'ja Wilson is failing miserably despite receiving every possible positive signal. Large check. Chelsea Gray, who some people ludicrously maintain is superior to Caitlin Clark, disappeared when it counted most. The largest check of all. A team in Indianapolis was prepared to teach A'ja the fundamentals of true team first. High IQ basketball while she was busy pulling people down from behind and somehow avoiding fouls. Comment if you're a fan of the Fever. Lexie and CC. Come on. The Aces were just defeated by the Indiana Fever. It was the Indiana Fever's first victory over the Las Vegas Aces since I was 22. Because Vegas didn't just lose that 81-54 clinic that the Indiana Fever played. Proclamation was made. When Indiana made the decision to lock in and play real connected basketball, a neon billboard lit up in brilliant Fever red, declaring that no amount of gifts from the referees, no heroic stat padding by Wilson, and no dynasty hype would save them. And my goodness, look at how many free throws that A'ja Wilson made. Have you, lady? Oh God. Her score on a stat sheet was about 30 points. But man, look at all the free throws this chick got. Man, they did everything they could to keep the Aces in the game. It didn't matter, though. Man, it didn't matter. The Aces were destroyed. Fever finally defeats the Aces, man, about freaking time. Sans Caitlin Clark. Let's focus on the exact time this confrontation became heated. Wilson was boxed out so well in the third quarter by Lexie, who has been a shining example of perseverance and growth throughout the season that it might have been featured on a coaching film. She made room, positioned her posterior precisely, and grabbed that rebound as if she had practiced it 1,000 times. Textbook material. A'ja Wilson, however, swooped in from behind and made a move so obvious it should have been featured on a highlight reel of things not to do, literally reaching over Lexie's arms and shoulders to claw for the ball. It's up. The shot will not fall. It appears to be over the back, Wilson. Oh, boy. The call is jump ball. Whoa, that has offended Stephanie White. That was over the back, I thought. Whoa, take a look. It's a jump ball. It's an over-the-back foul Indiana ball play according to anyone who has ever watched an AAU game. The case is over. On live television, however, the referees made the decision to revise the rules. In defiance of common sense, they decided to call it a jump ball. After crushing Hull from behind, Wilson had an equal claim to that rebound. However, this was a significant victory for the Fever, considering the Aces were the only team they had lost at least one game against during the previous season, indicating that last season the Aces swept the Fever. In fact, they haven't defeated the Aces in 16 games. I apologize for that. And Caitlin Clark wasn't involved. This group is insane. That this team is finally finding its rhythm is demonstrated by the fact that they defeated the league's top team first, then went on to defeat the Aces, whom they haven't defeated in 16 games without Caitlin Clark. Not even the broadcast crew could conceal their astonishment. As they tried to take in what was happening, their commentary veered between embarrassing giggles and stunned silence. It was clear that they had made contact. The infraction is really obvious. However, these officials apparently chose to neutralize it in a way that directly rewarded the offending player. It's a foul. The lead percentage is third. This is when it becomes quite lyrical, though. Neither did the Indiana Fever falter or moan. They maintained their momentum despite the unsteady officiating. They dismissed it, pulled their laces tight, and then proceeded to destroy the Aces so thoroughly that each dubious call became entirely irrelevant. Let's examine how Indiana converted what might have been a Vegas momentum swing into a lopsided display of exquisite basketball. We definitely have a target on our backs, so I believe that everyone is coming in with a certain level of focus every day right now. We're making sure that we're locked in on everything we're doing in practice. However, since this is ultimately a game, I believe we're putting our enthusiasm, enjoyment, and lightheartedness into practice. We want to enjoy ourselves, and I believe we play our best basketball when we are playing freely, enjoying ourselves, and being happy while we play together. Indiana went into full assault mode right from the first quarter. They continued to punch after scoring the first 6 points. They were ahead 21-4 at the end of the first. You could already see that Vegas was losing this game. Indiana outscored the Aces 16-4 in paint points, shot over 53%, and limited them to less than 29%. It was evident right there that wasn't going to be the night when the A's were crowned. Since the 2019 season, Indiana has failed to defeat Las Vegas. So power. The MVP of the Commissioner's Cup has attacked the ball. Boston is at the center here. Not touched. Take a drive. Howard, the roller, receives it and scores from the center of the paint. Take a break. Hammond. Becky. A couple of Gamecocks are facing each other. There is some physicality there, after all. As you may imagine, we're extremely meticulous and playing with a lot of energy. However, the Fever went for the kill in the second quarter. They beat Vegas by a score of 25-10. It's not a typo. 25-10. While Vegas stumbled to only 24% from the field, Indiana shot an incredible 82%. In the paint, the Fever went 6 for 6. A miserable 3 of 13 for the Aces. It was 46-24 at the half. It's game over, let's face it. And that contentious jump ball was accurate, when it took a miracle for Vegas to recover. By giving them a possession they didn't deserve and giving them an opportunity to alter the course, the referees effectively threw them a bone. Throughout the season, we have been preaching while acting with great discipline and purpose on both ends of the floor. That's what we're doing. Additionally, there is a lot of bustle around. I'm quite pleased with the females. The Fever is all smiles for the next 20 minutes. The Fever are ahead by 22 points. In front of Las Vegas 462, Indiana. For the Fever 24. It was one of those moments of dread. Here we go again, oh boy. That silent annoyance was almost palpable. Even though Lexie Hall played textbook fundamental basketball and did everything correctly, she was not rewarded. Young teams are rattled by those kinds of situations, particularly when facing a seasoned opponent like the Aces. Wilson is going over. Wilson hangs. Wilson completes. She's coming, oh boy. See Hall for a much-needed response to Indiana. Take care of the miss. Hall on the ground once more. Mitchell's right corner is found for 3. Excellent. For 2, Mitchell the other way. 335 laps in the third quarter for 5,738 Fever. Enough thanks. That present from the referees was a lifeline for Vegas. They were down big, looking for any spark when all of a sudden they were handed a 50-50 ball that wasn't. And for a little moment it appeared as though perhaps the officials will begin to support the reigning champions. Completely irritated. Catch and shoot, eh? Makes contact from the foul line. It falls from the front of the rim. Brief recovery. Fever. For 3, Mitchell's right wing is open. The Aces made 26% of the shots. A Fever opponent hasn't shot this low in 15 years. Indiana, however, wouldn't have it. As the fourth quarter began, the lead had grown to 68-47. And it was a complete disgrace in the last quarter. During the entire period, the Aces only scored 7 points. Professional offense is not what that is. That is a total collapse of the system. The final score of 8,154 nearly flatters Las Vegas. In actuality, Indiana dismantled them one by one. Let's have a dub column, all right? Yes, excellent work. Music. From the floor, we held them to 26%. 1, 2, 3. And we must stay for A. A'ja Wilson's big game came in second. She certainly feasted at the line, going 11 of 13 and scoring 29 points on 9 of 18 shots. She shot almost as many free throws as the whole Indiana team combined, which seems like superstar material on paper. They might as well have been gift-wrapped because the whistles were so amiable. The supposedly greatest player in the world ended up 27 points down despite all of the referees' generosity. In the second half, A'ja Wilson received a positive whistle. It is what it is, though. The whistle is blown for superstars. Unless you're A'ja Wilson, you know, 29 points. 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, 3 boards, and 9 out of 18 field goals. 11 out of 13 free throw attempts. Take a look at her other team members. 6 points, 0 points, 4 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 3 points. 1 for 10, Dana Evans. Dana Evans. Oh my God. Take a moment to absorb that. The league's With the rest of the aces looking hopelessly lost, Crown Jewel's dazzling stat line meant nothing at all. The Indiana Fever played like a team determined to permanently destroy the dynasty myth, while Chelsea Gray stayed away from the game the entire time. Furthermore, Caitlin Clark, Lexie Hull, and the Fever weren't merely carrying out a strategy during this entire period. On live television, they were changing the league's power structure. That missed call didn't define Lexie Hull's evening.